At this point in your entrepreneurial journey, you might have come across people that you have considered working with, or people have come across you and asked you to join their company, for example. Is it such a good idea to team up with someone? And how do you know if that particular person would be a great fit for your business adventure? We're going to go through a few short exercises to try and get to the bottom of this and to try and see if we can figure it out. Now, the title of the next section is called Finding a Co-Founder Fit, but you don't necessarily need to have a co-founder. And in fact, single startup companies are perfectly fine, especially if you want to go through the freelancing route. This exercise is mainly to get you to think about what it would be like to work with someone else. This someone else can be your first employee, or it could be a contractor that you bring on to fill in some skill gaps that you need in your company. If you choose to have a co-founder, that is the most extreme version of commitment, because this co-founder will have a percentage of your company, which means you'll be working together for quite a long time. But if you decide to try out an employee, or if you want to work with some contractors, then I believe the principles are the same. You still need to answer these questions of how you're going to work together and whether or not you're going to be compatible. So if you are working with a co-founder, the most important question are your mission, goals, and value. They're less important for employees or contractors, but the other two apply just as well. The second question to ask is, are your skills complementary? Do the other person have skills that you don't have? If you're bringing this person in for a short contract, then the answer is probably really obvious. You're hiring this person to fill a particular need at that point in the company. But if this other person is signed on for longer as an employee or co-founder, for example, then you have to seriously consider over the long term, out of this whole list of skills that you both need now and potentially need in the future, how many of these boxes does this other person tick? And how will it help you fill in the blind spots? And finally, you want to look at your compatibility with working styles. Just observe yourself. How do you like to work in the current workplace that you're in? As an entrepreneur, you'll probably be quite pushed in terms of your stress levels. So how do you do when you're having a very bad day? And next, think about yourself from another person's perspective. So what is it like for someone else to work with you, right? So stepping out of your own shoes, go into the shoes of someone else and asking, am I difficult to work with? Would I want to work with someone like me? Or what type of person would it take to kind of deal with my particular quirks and particularities? Whether it's short-term or long-term, any person that you work with, especially when you're trying to do a more creative side or problem-solving side of the business, it's very useful to have that compatibility in working style. You're now able to answer questions like, hey, would I run my business with someone? Do I need to run my business with someone? Or is it wise to run my business with someone? Or do I just need a few contractors to fill in the gaps? Or maybe to hire your first employee down the line when you need one.